The handcuffs clicked shut at 9:24 on a Monday morning. Emani Whitfield's phone was buzzing with a voicemail about her aunt's surgery. The bank manager stood a few feet away, arms folded, smiling like he had already won. All Emani wanted was access to her own money. She had no idea that by lunchtime, this quiet bank lobby would expose 83 hidden files, a secret list, and one manager's plan to erase the truth forever. Emani Whitfield always arrived early. At 46, she had built a career on discipline, the kind that let her walk into any room and read it before anyone spoke a word. That Monday, she wasn't at Crest Haven National Bank for work. She was there for her Aunt Gloria. Gloria had raised her since she was a teenager after Emani's mother passed away. Now Gloria was recovering from hip surgery, and the home care team needed $18,000 by 11:30, or the nursing coverage would fall through. Emani had tried transferring the money from her phone that morning, but the app rejected it, then locked her out completely. So she walked into the Briarwood branch, expecting a small delay and a quick fix. At the counter, a young teller named Nyla Kersey checked everything by the book. Driver's license, bank card, signature, one-time verification code. Every detail matched perfectly. Then a red banner flashed across Nyla's screen. Possible identity impersonation. Manager review required. Nyla frowned. "This doesn't look automatic," she murmured. "What do you mean?" Emani asked. It was entered manually. Before Nyla could say another word, a man in a tailored gray suit stepped up behind her. His name was Grant Hollis, and he ran this branch like his personal kingdom. He glanced at the screen, then at Emani, and something in his expression shifted. He asked why she needed $18,000, how long her aunt had been sick, and why she hadn't planned this earlier. Emani answered calmly. Then she stopped him. "You've verified my identity," she said. "Release my account or give me a written reason why you won't." Grant leaned toward the monitor. "Your profile doesn't match the person standing in front of me." "What part is inconsistent?" Emani asked. Grant didn't answer. A few feet away, a white man at the next station transferred more than $30,000 after showing his license and answering 2 quick questions. Grant approved it without a second glance, signing the slip himself. Emani watched closely. Why wasn't he asked where his money came from? Grant set the pen down. His account wasn't flagged. "Mine was flagged by someone inside this branch. That doesn't give you permission to interrogate my staff. I'm asking about my account." Grant told her to leave. Emani asked for a written notice confirming the bank was denying her access to verified funds. He refused. When she stayed seated, calm and immovable, he walked into his office and picked up the phone. He did not report a disagreement over a frozen account. He described a woman using false documents to steal money from a wealthy customer. He claimed she had intimidated staff and might have accomplices waiting nearby. Nyla heard every word from her station. When Grant returned, she quietly told him the identification had passed every single check. "If that money disappears," she whispered, "your name is on the transaction." Grant said nothing. By the time Officer Owen Hargrove walked in with a younger patrolman, Grant had already built his story. A threat, a suspect, a crisis narrow enough to fit conveniently around one black woman sitting quietly by the counter. He met the officers at the door and spoke to them privately before either one had asked Nyla a single question. Emani handed Owen her license. "This account belongs to me," she said. "The bank already sent a verification code to my registered phone. Ask the teller." Owen glanced toward Nyla. Grant stepped between them. "My employee is frightened. She may not feel comfortable speaking in front of the suspect." Emani looked straight at Nyla. The young teller's hands had gone still above her keyboard. "Were my documents verified?" Emani asked her directly. Nyla opened her mouth to answer. Grant spoke over her. "This is no longer a customer service conversation." Emani reached for her phone to pull up her banking app's security page. "She's deleting evidence," Grant shouted. Owen grabbed her wrist before she could explain, ordered her to stand, and turned her hard toward the counter. Her hip struck the edge. Across the lobby, an older woman named Mabel Foster gasped and stepped forward, phone raised, recording everything. "I am cooperating," Emani said, steady despite the pain. "There is no reason to restrain me." Owen pulled her arms behind her back. "Then stop resisting." "I'm not resisting. You're twisting my shoulder." The cuffs clicked shut. Grant stepped close enough that Emani could smell his coffee. "A good suit doesn't make a stolen identity real," he said, smiling. That was the exact moment Mabel's camera caught his face. Outside, the cold morning air hit Emani as Officer Hargrove walked her toward the patrol car. His partner tried to confirm whether the bank actually intended to press charges. Emani turned her head. "I am the Senior Director of Retail Conduct Audit for Cresthaven National," she said clearly. "This branch is scheduled for an unannounced examination at 10 o'clock. Call Philip Harrow, the regional executive. Tell him the lead auditor is standing in your parking lot in handcuffs." Grant laughed from the sidewalk. A few minutes ago, she was a concerned niece. Now she runs internal audit. "Both are true," Emani said. "Of course they are." Owen ran her license again. The state database confirmed it. No warrants. Nothing suggesting fraud. Just a woman cuffed in a parking lot, telling the truth to people who hadn't bothered to check it first. Inside, Nyla waited until Grant stepped outside, then quietly picked up the internal phone and called the audit office listed in the employee directory. Emani's deputy, Lena Baptisti, answered. Nyla gave her name, then struggled to finish the sentence. "They put her in handcuffs," she finally said. "She's outside." Lena's voice sharpened instantly. "Do not log out of your workstation. Do not delete anything. Is the branch manager near you? He's in the parking lot. Keep this line open." At 9:41, 2 dark vehicles pulled into the lot. Lena arrived first with a digital forensics specialist named Jonas Keene and 3 members of the audit team. Regional Executive Philip Harrow followed close behind in his own sedan, moving fast, until he spotted Mabel's, still recording. Then he slowed down, straightened his tie, and looked between Grant and the patrol car with visible unease. "What happened here?" Philip asked. Grant answered before anyone else could. "We intercepted an attempted account takeover. The individual became disruptive and is now claiming to be one of your auditors." Philip's eyes finally landed on Emani. Recognition swept across his face, followed by something sharper than surprise. Embarrassment. He walked over to Owen and confirmed her employment. But instead of demanding the cuffs come off immediately, he lowered his voice. "Can we get her inside before this becomes a public spectacle?" Emani heard every word. "I'm already the spectacle, Philip." Moments later, a supervisor's SUV rolled in. Sergeant Marisol Vega stepped out, reviewed Emani's identification, called Cresthaven's corporate security line herself, and ordered Owen to release her immediately. The metal left red marks circling Emani's wrists. She took her phone back and called Harbor Home Care first. The coordinator told her the payment still hadn't cleared. The nursing team had another assignment lined up and could only wait until 11:30. "We'll solve it before then," Emani said, ending the call before turning to Lena. "Preserve every security video, call recording, account note, and access log from this branch," she instructed. "Suspend Grant Hollis's administrative privileges. No device leaves this building until the evidence is secured." Grant's face flushed red. "You can't conduct an impartial audit after a personal dispute." Philip seized on it instantly. "He may have a point," he said. "Your own account is involved. Legal will call this a conflict. My account is evidence." Emani replied evenly. "You can take my statement, but you shouldn't be the one directing the examination." Grant's confidence returned, watching the reversal unfold in less than 5 minutes. Philip asked Emani to wait in the conference room, while Lena took temporary leadership, framed as a procedural safeguard, though everyone in the room understood the real fear underneath it. A public scandal involving discrimination, false reporting, and a senior bank official caught on camera in handcuffs. Grant walked back into the lobby and addressed the staff. "This branch still answers to me until corporate says otherwise." Everyone returned to their desks. Everyone except Nyla. Grant pointed at her station. "Mrs. Kersey, I gave you an instruction." Heather Quill, the assistant manager, stepped away from the printer. She had worked under Grant for 4 years and rarely challenged him in public, not until now. "Your scheduling access and system permissions have been suspended," she said. You can't direct staff right now. Grant stared at her. You should be careful which side you choose. Heather's jaw tightened, but she didn't back down. The entrance doors opened again. A man named Cedric Boone rushed inside, clutching a folder and a phone lit up with failed payment alerts. Cedric owned a small heating and air conditioning company with 12 employees. His business account had been frozen for 3 days, and payroll was due within the hour. I was told the manager would fix this today, he said. Grant's composure returned instantly, now facing someone he clearly considered less threatening than an auditor. Your recent equipment purchase triggered a fraud review. It was the same supplier I've used for 6 years. My employees' checks are being rejected. Grant shrugged. Reviews take time. Cedric held up his phone. One of my technicians is a single father. His daughter's prescription comes out of this check. Another employee has rent due today. I can't let emotion override risk controls, Grant said flatly, from the conference room doorway. Emani watched him deny another customer access to verified money, treating real harm like a minor inconvenience. She asked Lena to pull up Cedric's account history. The flag on his profile had been created exactly 1 day after he filed a complaint about an unexplained service fee. The internal note described him as aggressive and financially unstable. Though every recorded call showed he had remained calm and polite throughout, then Lena found something else. The manual code placed on Cedric's account matched the exact code placed on Emani's. Jonas ran a search for every customer flagged under that same designation. There were 83. Grant insisted the number proved something good. That demonstrates exceptional fraud prevention, he said. Compared to similarly sized branches, Briarwood reported nearly 4 times as many intercepted threats, and more than $6 million in assets supposedly protected the previous year. Yet only 2 of the 83 flagged cases had resulted in confirmed fraud. The rest involved customers who had challenged a fee, requested a supervisor, left a negative review, or simply refused to leave without an explanation. Mabel lowered her phone just long enough to speak. My account was frozen last spring. 6 days. Grant glanced at her. Your transaction pattern changed. I was paying a rehabilitation center after knee surgery. You kept telling me the review would end the next day. I lost my reserved room and had to recover at my sister's house, where the bathroom was upstairs. Grant turned away without answering. Nyla sat at her computer, tears gathering in her eyes. He called it the pressure list, she said quietly. Grant spun toward her. There is no such list. You told us difficult customers become fraud risks. You told us to flag them before they cause trouble. I told you to exercise judgment. Philip stepped between them. Everyone needs to stop making accusations until the records are reviewed. Lena didn't blink. We are reviewing the records. Just then, Jonas raised his hand from the back office. Someone is deleting a directory. The branch network showed an active remote command targeting archived incident reports. Grant's system account had already been suspended, but a remote administration credential registered to his company phone was still connected to a computer at his home. Philip ordered the network team to block the connection. Emani gave a sharper instruction: disconnect this branch from the network, preserve the live session first, then isolate every machine. Grant pulled his phone from his pocket. Sergeant Vega stepped toward him immediately. Put that on the desk. Gah, this is my personal property. You're standing in a potential evidence scene while records are being erased through a credential tied to that exact device. Grant set it down slowly. For several long minutes, the lobby filled with the sound of unanswered phones ringing. Customers waited near the doors, while employees whispered among themselves. Cedric checked his payroll app again. 22 minutes remained before the processing deadline. Because Emani had been removed from directing the audit, she couldn't authorize an emergency release herself. Philip could. She asked him to approve Cedric's payroll and her aunt's medical payment, both already verified. Philip hesitated. With an active fraud code, the safest course is to wait for central operations. Central operations may take hours. I'm trying to protect the bank from verified customers, she said. Grant overheard the exchange and smiled. You wanted an audit? You got one. Cedric turned on him. You're holding my employees' money to win an argument. Grant said nothing. Heather took a slow breath, then opened Cresthaven's internal messaging archive on her workstation. There's something else, she said months earlier. After Grant instructed her to extend a hold against a customer who had complained to corporate, Heather had quietly started saving his messages through the bank's compliance retention tool. She never reported him. Fear for her salary and her health insurance had kept her silent, a decision she now admitted without excuse. Lena projected the saved messages onto the conference room screen. If they object, extend the hold. A police incident report will support the risk designation, convert customer resistance into measurable loss prevention. One message instructed Heather to calculate the entire value of a delayed transaction as assets protected, even when the transaction was later approved. Another congratulated the branch for turning complaints into proof that stronger controls were needed. The final message had come from Philip himself. Whatever you're doing in Briarwood, the numbers are saving this region. Don't let compliance dismantle a successful model. The room went silent. Philip read it twice. That was poorly worded. Emani looked at him. How many customer complaints did your office send back to Grant under regional discretion? Lena pulled the number, 29. 26 were closed as unsubstantiated. Philip had signed off on every single one. Grant turned toward him. You approved the program. I approved performance figures. I never approved retaliation. You told me to keep the numbers up. I did not tell you to fabricate threats. Their alliance dissolved in front of the very employees they had pressured and the customers they had ignored. Each man now describing the other as reckless, dishonest, and impossible to supervise. Sergeant Vega replayed Mabel's video. It clearly captured Grant, telling Owen that Emani had threatened staff. Security footage showed she had remained seated the entire time. The audio also caught his whispered instruction near the entrance. Get her out before the customers start asking questions. Owen watched it beside his supervisor. Shame replaced the certainty he had walked in with. I should have spoken to the teller, he said. You should have established a crime before making an arrest, Marisol replied. He nodded. Yes, Sergeant. She informed him he was being removed from active duty, pending an independent review. At the conference table, Jonas finished tracing the deletion attempt. The remote command had originated from Grant's registered device using credentials created 6 weeks earlier. The targeted folder held records of police calls, account holds, and customer complaints. Grant claimed Heather had access to his phone. She didn't. He claimed the system launched an automatic cleanup. The command had been entered manually. He claimed he was protecting customer privacy. The files were being permanently destroyed. Nyla's monitor chimed. Central Operations had accepted Lena's emergency request after reviewing the identity records. Emani's transfer was authorized at 11:27. For the first time all morning, her hands shook as she called Harbor Home Care. The coordinator confirmed the nursing team would meet Gloria at the rehabilitation hospital. Cedric's payroll cleared less than 2 minutes later. He stared at the confirmation screen, then sat down slowly. As though his legs had finally been given permission to stop holding him up, Grant reached for his phone again. Sergeant Vega covered it with her hand. Grant Hollis. Turn around and place your hands behind your back. The audit continued for 7 weeks. Investigators found that 83 customer accounts had been flagged without adequate evidence. 21 customers had suffered documented financial harm. Late fees, lost deposits, frozen funds, while their money sat untouched. Several small businesses had nearly missed payroll. One family lost a home purchase entirely after their certified funds were held past the closing deadline. Briarwood's reported fraud prevention figures dropped by more than 90% once the truth came out. Grant's annual bonus was revoked. Cresthaven fired him before the criminal investigation even concluded, and banking regulators opened a separate review into his conduct. Prosecutors later filed charges connected to false reporting, unauthorized system access, and attempted destruction of business records. Philip was dismissed for ignoring complaints, approving conflicted investigations, and rewarding unverified numbers to protect his region's performance. His own messages showed he hadn't built Grant's system, but he had celebrated its results and silenced anyone who questioned it. Crest Haven agreed to reimburse fees, compensate customers for documented losses, and remove every unsupported fraud warning from their files. The bank adopted a new rule. Branch managers could no longer close complaints filed against their own conduct. Any hold lasting longer than one business day would now require independent approval and a written explanation to the customer. Lawyers offered Emani a confidential settlement over her detention. She declined the confidentiality clause. The full results of the audit were released publicly. Every failure, every correction. Emani never believed her title should decide whether the truth stayed hidden. Most of the other 83 customers didn't have an audit team driving toward them that morning. She wanted their stories seen too. Owen remained suspended through the investigation. His corrected report admitted he had relied entirely on Grant's word, ignored the teller who had verified everything, and treated Emani's own banking app as suspicious without ever asking what she was doing. Nyla transferred to the bank's customer protection unit. Heather received formal discipline for carrying out wrongful holds and staying silent too long, though her preserved messages had helped crack the entire case open. She accepted the consequences without asking to be called a hero. Cedric kept his account at Crest Haven only long enough to protect his employees' direct deposits, then moved his business to a local community bank. Mabel used part of her settlement to start a small program helping older residents challenge unexplained financial holds. On the first Saturday after Gloria came home, Emani brought groceries to her aunt's row house. Gloria sat by the window, Walker at her side, a home care nurse reviewing her medication schedule nearby. "You should have called me from the bank," Gloria said. "You had just come out of surgery. I still know how to make noise." Emani laughed, though the fading marks around her wrists were still visible. Gloria noticed and reached across the table. Did they apologize? Some of them did. That wasn't my question. Emani thought about it. The bank apologized after it understood who I was. Gloria's expression hardened. Then they still have work to do. A month later, Emani returned to the Briarwood branch. The glass doors, the polished counters, the quiet carpet, everything looked exactly as it had that morning, but something had changed. Near the customer service desk, an older man triggered an automated review during a transfer. This time, the employee didn't accuse him of lying or demand he explain his private life. She showed him the alert, walked him through the verification steps, gave him a written estimate of the wait, and explained how to appeal if it took too long. The man left frustrated, but informed. Treated like the owner of his money, not a threat to it. Nyla, visiting from the customer protection office, joined Emani near the entrance. "I keep thinking about the moment I could have spoken," she said, "before the cuffs." Emani didn't rush to comfort her. "You should have spoken." Nyla nodded, accepting it. "But you spoke later," Emani continued. "That helped 82 other people whose names we would never have known." They stood together, watching employees quietly work through the new procedures. No dramatic announcement, no applause. Just a policy explained clearly, a complaint routed to someone independent, and a customer allowed to ask questions without being called dangerous, small things. The very things Grant Hollis had taken away. Emani stepped outside and looked across the parking lot, where she had once stood in restraints while strangers decided if she looked like the owner of her own life. Her title had helped expose what happened that morning, but it was never what made the treatment wrong in the first place. The bank should have listened before it knew her name. The officer should have verified before tightening the cuffs. Her money should have remained hers, whether she arrived with an audit team behind her or with no one at all.